Today's lesson will be on adding and subtracting numbers in scientific notation, Part 1. We can add and subtract numbers when they are written in scientific notation. Today we're going to look at numbers that have the same exact exponents. So here would be an example. 3.45 times 10 to the 6th plus 2.09 times 10 to the 6th. Notice they have the same exact exponents. That's what we're going to be practicing today. So our learning target for today is I can add and subtract numbers given in scientific notation. So this is how we add and subtract numbers in scientific notation. The very first thing we need to do, similar to what we did in past lessons regarding multiplying and dividing, we need to do what the sign says to the coefficients. In this case, we're only talking about adding and subtracting in this lesson. So we need to either add or subtract the coefficients. The next step would be leave the exponent alone. And lastly, rewrite the expression in correct scientific notation. And that would be, we talked about the acronym LARS, L-A-R-S. If we move our decimal left, we add. If we move our decimal right, we subtract. And we'll practice those. So here we go. We have this example, 3.45 times 10 to the 6th plus 2.09 times 10 to the 6th. Let's look at this overall. Look at our exponents that are the same. So the very first step was to add or subtract the coefficients. It's telling us we have to add the plus sign. So we're going to add our two coefficients, 3.45 plus 2.09. When we add those together, 5.54. So if you're looking for a calculator to use, please feel free to use desmos.com/scientific. And you can type right in here if you don't have a calculator available. So you can use that. Let's get back to our presentation. So we add those together and we get 5.54. Looking at the two coefficients, adding them together. The next step was leave the exponent alone. So our exponent was 6, so we just leave it alone. So we just carry it down. So our answer is 5.54 times 10 to the 6th. We want to verify that it's in the correct scientific notation. The sum is already written in the scientific notation, so our problem is complete. So it's 5.54 times 10 to the 6th. How do we know when this is not in scientific notation? Is when our first number on the left of the decimal, this should be only a one digit, and our number has to be either 1 or less than 10. So that would be our range of numbers. All right, so big thing, we add our coefficients, and we keep our exponent the same. We leave it alone and just carry it down. Let's take a look at this one. 7.92 times 10 to the negative 9th plus 8.332 times 10 to the negative 9th. First step, add our coefficients. 7.92 plus 8.332 equals 16.252. 16.252. Our next step, we look at our coefficients. We look at our exponents, and they're both negative 9, so we just leave it alone. So I'm just going to carry that 16.252 down and write it as times 10 to the negative 9. We leave that exponent alone. Last step here, so we leave that negative 9 alone. We carry it down. We need to write this expression in correct scientific notation. We look to see if we have to change this, and we do. We see that there's 2 digits in front of our decimal. We should only have 1. So remember LARS. We have to move. In this case, we need to move our decimal left 1. So then we find the L, that stands for left, and A means add. So if we move it, add to our exponent, the number of place values. So in this case, we're moving it only 1 to the left, so we have to add 1. So negative 9 plus 1, if you do that in your calculator, you're going to get negative 8. Or if you do this in your head, negative 9 plus 1, they're opposites, so we subtract. 9 minus 1 is 8, and whichever one is bigger, we keep that sign. 9 is bigger than 1, so 9 and 9 is negative, so our answer has to be negative. So our final answer would be 1.6252 times 10 to the negative 8th. Let's try this one with subtraction. We have 9.4 times 10 to the negative 6 minus 4.66 times 10 to the negative 6. Same exponents. Just the only difference that we're going to do on this one, we are going to subtract our coefficients. So when we subtract 9.4 minus 4.66, we equals 4.74. Next step is just leave our exponent alone, so we carry it down. So we bring our 4.74 times 10 to the negative 6. It stays the same. Leave that exponent alone. And lastly, rewrite the expression in correct scientific notation. And it is in correct scientific notation. So the difference is already written in scientific notation, so this problem is complete. Let's try another one. 3.284 times 10 to the 5th minus 3.25 times 10 to the 5th. Things to notice, we have the same exponent. So our very first step would be add or subtract the coefficients. In this case, we're subtracting. 3.284 minus 3.25, which equals 0.034. Next step, leave our exponent alone. It's the same, so we just carry it down. So it would be 0.034 times 10 to the 5th. Next step is rewrite this expression in correct scientific notation. This is not in the correct form. We have a 0 in front. We should have a number that's between 1 and less than 10 in front. So if we do that, we need to move our decimal 2 places to the right. So it's going to be 3.4. And whenever we're moving 2 to the right, remember our LARS acronym. We look at the R, means we're moved to the right, we need to subtract. Move 2 decimal places to the right, we subtract 2 from the exponent. Since we moved it 1, 2, we need to subtract 2 from our exponent, so 5 minus 2 is 3. So our final answer in scientific notation is 3.4 times 10 to the 3rd. All right, so remember, it's very important to make sure your answer is written in the correct scientific notation, meaning the coefficient, which is the first number, is between 1 and 10. So we have some practice problems for you to try. Why don't you pause the video and try this. 4.99 times 10 to the 7th plus 3.02 times 10 to the 7th. All right, let's work through it. So the very first thing that we need to do is add our coefficients. So we go add 4.99 plus 3.02. We get 8.01. And we then keep our exponents the same. So times 10 to the 7th. We look to make sure it's in proper form, scientific notation, and it is. Our digit in front has to be between 1 and 10, and it is. So our answer is 8.01 times 10 to the 7th. So look at this one. 9.622 times 10 to the 12th plus 5 times 10 to the 12th. All right, let's add our exponents. 9.622 plus 5, which is going to be equal 1. It'll equal 14.622 times 10 to the 12th. But we've noticed that when it was 14, we need to move 1 to the left. And we remember in LARS, LA, we move left 1. So we need to add 1. So 12 plus 1 is 13. So our answer is going to be 1.4622 times 10 to the 13th. 5.205 times 10 to the 8th minus 1.205 times 10 to the 8th. Try this one. All right, our very first step, we need to subtract our coefficients and then leave our exponents alone. So when we subtract this, 5.205 minus 1.205, we get 4. And we keep our exponents the same. We don't have to change anything. It is in scientific notation, correct form. So our answer is 4 times 10 to the 8th. And our last example, 4.4913 times 10 to the negative 6 minus 4.399 times 10 to the negative 6. Pause the video, try it. All right, our very first step was we need to subtract our coefficients. So 4.4913 minus 4.399. We're going to get an answer of let's do this. 4.4913 let's see if I did that one right. 4913. And we're going to subtract. So I'm going to show you how to use it on Desmos. 4.399. 4.39, and we're going to get this 0.0923. 0.0923. So let's go back. So it was 0.0923. So that was not in scientific notation, the correct form. So there'd be a 0 in front of this 9. The decimal, so we needed to move our decimal 2 places to the right. Remember in Lars, when we move right, L-A-R-S, we're looking at the R because we moved to the right. And since we moved 2 places, we're looking at the R and the S. R means right, S means subtract. Subtract from our exponent. Since we moved 2 places to the right, we need to subtract 2. So negative 6 minus 2 would be negative 8. All right, that's it for today. So head on over to the Schoology for today's practice. Make sure to email your teacher if you have any questions. Have an awesome day.